Last week I found myself in USB interface hell where Satan decided if drivers worked, if sound was allowed to hiss or not, and whether or not my microphone could actually speak to God. So my audio interface died. I went on a manhunt for the best replacement, went down many rabbit holes, bought 3 of them. I chose one, and one company is banished to Satan's Lounge.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So for those who don't know what an audio interface is, here's one that's going straight back in the box. It just plugs into USB, and then you're allowed to plug in high quality speakers, boom, and XLR mics. And you control volume. It's all like you need one. If you're getting the professional audio, it's not up there.
Hey man.
So let me just tell you a little story about the old one that I bought that just died in my arms, and then the rabbit hole search, ending up with the one you're listening to now, and how it's the best one for me, and what you'll need to decide on when you're picking one. So most noobs go with the Focusrite Scarlett thing, the 2 and 2, it's all red. It's very easy and shiny looking, it's nice. It's not the best preamps, it's okay, it's a budget thing. And I was researching way back in 2018, and I was like, that's nice, but there's gotta be something better. And I came across the Audient ID14, and it was like, people were saying it's like class leading preamps. These are the best thing. It's in their professional drivers, and they brought it down to the consumer level somehow, and this is what the pros would use. It was expensive as heck, like 400 plus Canadian, delivered to Thailand, but it worked. I was gonna do a podcast with my friend, and we had 2 mics plugged into that thing, and I was like, yes. So like it served its purpose, but here we are 5 years later. I don't think that's a very long time for it to die. It's dead. It just sits on a table. Who dies on a table? Nobody has. So like one morning I wake up and it's just not working at all. None of the lights are on. I'm like, what happened? Nothing happened. There's no storm. It's not raining in my house. So it's like it's bricked. And I'm like going through stuff, trying to update firmwares and doing all this. Nothing worked ever. So that left me with using my headphone port in the front bus, and I couldn't use a microphone, and I'm like, so I'm researching, how do I upgrade? And I found that James Krause guy, and I'm watching a bunch of his reviews, and he has a list of the best preamps. So I'm not downgrading from the Audient ID14 preamps, and you can see it's like down on that list. I wanted something above, but it also has to meet certain requirements. So high on that list was the M-Audio Air 192.6. Whoever named that needs a swift kick in the groin. I hope you recover fast, but you do deserve the initial pain. So I liked it. It had a huge volume knob, and it's important, as you'll see, Tascam. And it's like, okay, that sounds good, best preamps in the business. I plug the thing in. It's not recognizing. I download drivers, it's still not helping, and finally it works somehow out of the mysteries of the Air. And then the headphone amp is like hissy. It's like hissy and clicky, and like I can never get the jack to position right to where, you know, like, oh, there, it's perfect. You wiggle it once and then it's, but the speakers sounded good, and then I go to record something, it's like, we don't recognize any microphones in here. It's like, it's plugged right in there, asshole. This was a perfect used Amazon warehouse deal. It was like $70 off. I was like, that's the one. I didn't want to dive deeper down the rabbit hole. We're done with that. I found the best preamp, big knob, and it wasn't working. So I had to return that immediately. There's 2 more that I was debating. The Tascam, you piece of shit, US 2x2 HR, versus the SSL2. Never heard of them. Apparently they're good. Now, as you can see on the list, the Tascam right up there on the preamp. So I'm like, okay, it's a bit of a downgrade from the M-Audio, but at least it might work. M-Audio, never again will your company be entering my house. So Tascam, I get this, I plug it in, boom, immediately recognized in all programs. And then I go to turn the volume knob, and I'm like, what tiny little elf knob is this? Well, this hurts me. It hurts. It physically hurts. My thumb can't even squeeze between the damn thing. I tried. you have to like nimble your way. You're either trying to squeeze from a stupid dainty position or you're like rolling it with your top hand. Like, what the hell? Who designed this? What were they thinking? Cramming everything onto this front page news? This is the dumbest design. Like, who did this? It's so perfect. It sounds so good. Everything is so great. It just sits there. But damn you to hell. So here's the problems with this one, the Tascam. One, the 48 volt power connects both mics at the same time. Very annoying because I own a dynamic mic and a pencil shotgun dick. And one requires phantom power, the other doesn't. So it's like, oh, great. So every time you want to use this mic with phantom power, you have to remember to unplug that one, or it'll like send voltages from Zeus up into the mic and destroy something. I said destroy, and I stick it with it. So that plus having the XLR mic inputs on the front, and I'm looking at all these cords in my face like spaghetti, and the headphone thing, it's like, leave me alone. Like this whole thing, and the light. Whenever it's plugged in, it has a everything's okay alarm with a huge light. It's so bright. I'm like, why are you doing this? You have to duct tape that thing. Whereas the superior SSL2 Plus in the background has a dainty light. And you know what's cool about that one as we move on from this bullshit Tascam system? The SSL2 Plus also has a light, but in my position where I am on my desk, it's hidden by that giant knob. It's like brilliance. They knew that. They knew you would be hiding behind it and have the perfect blocking light pattern. It's just so refreshing. I guarantee you someone came up with that concept. Like, let's block the light behind this knob. I mean, it might not work for you. Maybe you're off to the side, you loser side bitch. But whatever, it worked. And I'm happy, and if it does annoy me sometime, I'm gonna duct tape that thing too. So I decided to try out the SSL2 Plus, which I didn't know existed. It was just the SSL2 I was looking at, and then I saw they had a Plus version, which has 2 frickin' headphone jacks. I don't know about you, but I often switch between just earbuds and then my big boys. And every time I had to unplug. That's not a life. So now I have 2 knobs for the headphone jacks, and I'm just like, yep. Okay, listening to a show, boom, put the headphones on, creating music now. Yeah. Ow. What hurts more, my finger or the wrist? Ow. Let me tell you, I almost guarantee the Tascam preamps will sound better than this, but all I can say is usability-wise, SSL is on another level. They think of things. The 48 volt power Phantom, it's on both mics, on and off for either. So right now I have both of my mics plugged in. I could do whatever I wanted. I could probably bring it over right now and just turn up the little dial, and I can see it's recording now on the right channel for that. So I could do 2 at the same time, a podcast in our future, I don't know. But not bad, little buddy. So just the way the thing is designed, like all the plugs are in the back, and I kind of don't see them. I kind of really do still, but whatever, they are in the back, and I think I prefer all the dials on top. It's easier to control. I can see everything. That huge volume knob, it's very quick to turn. You know, like in cameras, how the focus throw is too long and you're constantly turning over and over? That's what this is like. It's like, especially being so small, 1, 2, 3, all the way up, where that one's just a flip, 1 flip verse 3, and tiny, pinching. You want me to pinch? And it also has a 4K button, which is, I don't even know what it does, but a guaranteed gimmick is all we know for sure. Let's turn it on. I'm now using 4K audio instead of HD. It's the best. I don't know, it like bumps the high frequencies and distorts you. It's for instruments. You wouldn't use it in this situation, but I would. Never again. I'll turn it off. So when you're looking at getting an audio interface, look at the preamp quality so your mic sounds decent, but also think about these little annoyances and will they matter to you. I saw a guy reviewing this and he said, oh, these damn knobs, they're so... I put a little rubber gasket so I can finger slide it, and I was like, you're probably a giant-handed freak. So I'll just like, whatever, man. How important is that? It's so important. It's the reason I'm returning it. So bad. I cannot believe how annoying that was. So it's like little things like that. And like having the double headphone jack is what sold it. So if you're in the market, go check out that James Krause guy, because he's like the audio professional. His brain is made out of like ringtones from your smartphone. He knows sound and he just does all these tests. I'm never going to do that for you. I'm just talking about usability and sound. I guarantee this sounds like shit. The freaking preamps are already so low. I should have been up here, and if I was, you wouldn't even believe the sound. Still not clipping. Oh, I could have done that a lot louder. Wow. Now, while I do suggest you watch James Krause's review, you use my affiliate links down below for whatever you purchase. You go watch his review, he does all the work, and then you come on over here and pay off old Case. Give Case a little cut of the coins. So, I think I did well. I did well. I don't need no 32-bit float zoom. You didn't have good preamps, not compared to these. These are the best. This mic, I don't know, I'm not sold on you. Probably go back to the dynamic mic soon. How are you doing? Are you buying something today? That's fun. You're not? I'll leave. How are you doing? Subscribing for more videos?